Formula One leaves the summer break and heads over to Zandvoort as well, a beach resort to kick us into the second half of the season. Just 10 races remain then in the 2023 campaign. Max Verstappen has a chance to equal the great Sebastian Vettel and Michael Schumacher with 9 victories in a row this weekend. Going after a week later with the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, the last of the European races before the flyaways begin with Singapore and Japan. Then it's a sprint race in Qatar back on the calendar and the United States at Austin, Texas. Then it's Mexico, the last sprint race in Sao Paulo before under the lights for our Saturday race at Las Vegas, and the season rounds out on the 26th of November in Abu Dhabi. In the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen leads on 314 points, well clear now of Sergio Perez on 189, who is only 40 points clear. Fernando Alonso in third on 149. Lewis Hamilton is closing him in though, 148. Then it's Charles Leclerc and George Russell level on 99. Carlos Sainz is 92 with Lando Norris on 69, Stroll on 47 and Esteban Ocon on 35. Piastri on the second page has 34 points, followed by Gasly on 22. Albon has 11, Hülkenberg 9, Bottas on 5, Zhou on 4, Tsunoda 3, Magnussen 2. Still no points for Sargent. De Vries no longer in the championship, but Daniel Ricciardo also no points so far. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way on 503 points. Mercedes on 247. Red Bull double in the Constructors' Championship ahead, a real milestone, winning every race so far this year. Aston Martin has dropped back to third on 196, now just 5 clear. Ferrari on 191. McLaren have 103. Alpine, with not finishing the last couple of races, on 57. Williams and Haas level on 11. Alfa Romeo on 9 and AlphaTauri only on 3. Let's take a look around this circuit. Zandvoort in the Netherlands, a 2.646 mile circuit, 14 turns, elevation changing up and down, 3 bank corners as well, and one of the best circuits on the calendar to return to Formula One. Get a good launch at the last corner of the banking and hurtle down towards turn number 1 of Tarzan. 8th gear flat out, hit the brakes with around about 70 metres to go. A long sweeping double apex right-hander which tightens towards the pit exit. Turn 2 and 3 fall together as well, and now into the banking. Take a low line, let the car drift up high if you need it. It's not going to compromise too much on your overall lap time. Now coming through the dune section as well, really get the car up to speed as you take several parts of the track flat out. Lift up the brakes ever so slightly, drop down 2 gears down to 6. Full throttle now, drop down 5th gear, flick the car into the right, then back down 5th, 4th, 3rd, flick the car in once again and again back on the power. Turn 9 and 10 now. Hard on the brakes, to the left, double apex again, light the power and then open up the DRS zone as well. Continue with the power down towards the chicane, another heavy braking spot as well. Have to tarmac on the inside line as well to stop gravel coming onto the circuit. It's very tight, twisty, slow, stoppy section. Now it's all about the banking, the last corner here at Zandvoort. Get a good entry into the last corner and then boot it hard. Don't lift up the brakes once, keep the car to a low centre line. More degree there at the last corner there is at turn 1 at Indianapolis. Across the line, and that is a lap of Zandvoort. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Formula One in 2023. We are here at Zandvoort, ready for round 13 of the 2023 campaign. Alongside me in the commentary box for the first practice session is Omi. And Omi, the summer break come and gone, and now we're ready to get back into the business with a Max Verstappen victory, let's be honest.
Yep, Formula One is back. We did kind of miss it. Now we're finally back. We've had a lot of action though. Since Formula One did stop, there's a lot of other motorsport going on, like MotoGP and the touring cars. So and obviously IndyCar as well. But yeah, there's been a lot of action. But the main Formula One now is back. We've all been waiting for this. Let's hope that on our return back, that we get treated to a good race. I think Verstappen will need some bad luck. Rain possibly in the air at some point during the weekend. So that could make it interesting as well. But we're going to be in for a good weekend.
We are indeed, and just been told that the risk of rain for this session is already at 30%, so that could increase coming up later. We'll keep you updated with everything that we know up here in the Stewards. The live timing monitor, however, you've got the great one, because there's a couple more drivers in this session that you might not recognise, of course, and they are actually taking over the timing screen. You might notice Robert Schwartzman will be in this session in place of Carlos Sainz, as Ferrari using him for his first rookie session. So it's a little bit different. 6 minutes to go until the session gets underway. There's so much that we are looking forward to talking to you about over this last hour, catching up on everything that's happened in the summer break as well. But right now, we're going to get our weekend details as well. It's a busy one here. We've got F1, F2, and the Porsche Super Cup from the Netherlands. We've also then got the British Touring Car Championship from Donington Park. For the first time in over 21 years, we're on the Grand Prix layout at Donington. We've also got the Bob Morado Automotive Group 500 for the final 3 races of IndyCar. But right now, let's hand over to Natalie Pinkham to give us all the lowdown on the times for this weekend.
Welcome back to Holland. Here's a heads up then on the timings for the weekend. Practice 1 is now, practice 2 at 2:45, F1 show at 4:15. On Saturday, 10:15 for practice 3 and quali.
Hope you don't have too many hangovers from all the partying you've done over the summer break. Welcome back to reality. It's the Dutch Grand Prix to keep the party going from the summer. Welcome to the beach location, Zandvoort by the sea as well. The Netherlands have gone Formula One mad, and all because of Max Verstappen. Literally just an hour away from where I'm standing right now in the commentary box, I could easily get to the Zandvoort. It's round 14, technically round 13 of the season. A circuit that was off the calendar for 35 years, restored and motivated into this new 21st century. Top speed over 203 miles an hour, elevation change at 8.65 meters. There is man-made bankings into this section, and then also man-made hills as well, and then just normal nature. It's a real combination. It's a hard abrasive circuit though, so it's C1 hard, C2 medium and C3 softs. Tyres available in case it's wet, green intermediate and blue wet weather. Risk is at 30% at the moment. Donuts have been done on the start finish straight, entertaining the crowd here to sell out once again for the 3rd year running, all looking for their man in the 33 car. Now the 1 car. Can Max Verstappen do it for a third year running. There's so much anticipation here at the Netherlands. Wherever you look, it is a sea of orange. Even I've got an orange t-shirt ready to go on Sunday because 72 laps around this track. But first, it's a normal weekend. 3 practice sessions are coming your way of hours length each, followed then by qualifying and 72 racing laps. Omi, the crowd's electric. We're ready, they're ready. Are the drivers ready after 3 weeks off since Spa? Good afternoon.
Yep, hello Josh, hello everyone. Really excited to be back here for Formula 1 as well, but yeah, we saw in Formula 2 everyone was just getting used to it. We're used to it already, because we've been at it, we haven't had a week break, so yeah. It's going to be interesting, I think. Obviously, we're back to this, we are kind of back to normal after having 2 sprints as well in the month of July, so it's a 3 practice sessions, so everyone can take this one, relax more than, because obviously we had Belgium last time out, and practice one was an absolute mess in the rain, with everyone wanting to get running but struggling due to the weather. So no rush, everyone can breathe a bit more now. We didn't have a sprint all the way till Qatar, so we could all breathe for a bit and enjoy 3 practice sessions.
Max Verstappen is number 1 on the Red Bull. He leads the championship on 314 points. He could easily lead the Constructors' Championship on his own. That is the gap that he has in the standings to Sergio Perez on 189, Alonso on 149, Hamilton 148. That's getting quite close. But the question is really, with 10 races to go, it's when is Max Verstappen going to win the title? Mathematically, he could do it at Singapore. That's an interesting thing to put into.
Yeah, he absolutely could do it in Singapore, but I'd rather him not, because that's my birthday, so
Robert Schwartzman.
I'd rather him
Sorry.
not.
Robert Schwartzman coming in then, the reserve driver at Ferrari, of course. Formula 2, Formula 3 driver getting in there. He is one of the rookies in part of Carlos Sainz. Lando Norris just getting ready to go as well in the McLaren. Several new upgrades as well have come to the team, so there's a lot to get going. There's a lot to look forward to here for Formula 1, as the first practice session is around about 23 seconds away. Kevin Magnussen, Nico Hülkenberg, they have been retained on their contracts until the end of the 2024 season. There's the commentary box for Sky F1. Nice to see them all back up there as well. But the green light is coming on, and the first session of the weekend is about to go green now. The summer is over. It's time to get back to work. Practice is underway here for the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. Track temperature, well, that's looking a bit up actually at the moment as we take a look at it on our computer monitors. Track temperature, that is at 30 degrees. Air temperature is at 20. Humidity at 81%. Wind speed is well at 1 metre per second, going in at 39. So it looks to be an okay day. Cars heading out there onto the circuit now as they'll boot up in this sector. And fingers crossed actually as well, Omi, we do get an interesting session, because the last thing we want is to have the dramas of them not being out there on the circuit when they need to be. They need to be out there ASAP getting it going.
Yeah, they definitely do. I think they'll do a few laps and then maybe come in for a bit. Obviously, what will the weather do, we still don't know. But right now it seems dry, so they're going to do a lot of dry running. Out comes Charles Leclerc as well now. So, yeah, it's going to be hopefully a very exciting session, a challenging circuit. Let's hope that they will manage to keep it out of the wall. And especially Perez, will definitely need to try keep it out of the wall as well. He cannot afford any bad races. As well.
Let's head down to the pit lane. Bernie is there with Karun.
What do you think he would be doing as a rookie driver, Bernie, today?
Well, he's got to get comfortable in the car. Again, I think he went on the hard tyres. So that is a tough first gig. You're trying to get the best out of the car. You're not going for a lap time. They'll have tests that they want to do. Try and get zoned into the track. Try and get some comparable lap times for the other side. Probably not going to do any high fuel on that car. Keep it low fuel, nice and consistent. Lots of looks at data when he comes back in the garage. Try and get him bedded into the car, really.
All right, back to you.
Thank you very much, Karun. As the cars head out there, as you can see, Tsunoda, Magnussen all going. The green light is on, so we are underway for this session. Fingers crossed it's not going to be too much of the drag that we were expecting and everyone gets through safely. Hamilton and Bottas just circulating there. Verstappen coming out of the last corner down the pitch straight now as well. Green light then. Max Verstappen passes, and there's a noticeable upshift from the crowd as he approaches Tarzan at turn number 1. Downhill braking zone to 3rd gear, back up into 5th gear, 6th gear as you break down all the way 2nd gear down into the loop at turn 3, taking the high line. He's on the hard compound tyre as well. In fact, most of the field are on hard compounds at the moment as well. Tsunoda, Norris, Bottas, Piastri, Sargent, Ocon and Hulkenberg, they are out there on medium compound tyre. Magnussen, Russell, Hamilton, Verstappen, Perez, Zhou, Leclerc, Gasly are out there on hard compounds at the moment. Magnussen's got top, 116.910. Russell's got second, 117.452. Tsunoda going 3rd position at the moment on the computer monitors. So this is actually getting set. The session is underway. Cars venturing out. And hopefully not going to be the only time this weekend that we are going to see racing action here at Zandvoort. And Omi, are you still there, by the way? Can you hear me? No, Omi's disappeared. I don't know if my Discord's frozen or not, but Omi's disappeared. Verstappen crosses the line then, does a 1:15.393. There's Omi.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm just quickly getting something actually.
I looked down and you weren't there. I was like, oh, where's he gone?
Right, be right back then. Should have told you probably before I ran off. Be
It's
right
all
back.
right. I didn't notice. I looked down and he was gone. On my fossil says at JB Motorsports, after Indy GMR 2 weeks ago, I can safely say you do not want to come to a USA race in our heat and humidity. Cheers and keep up the great work. I know. I'm not really looking forward to when I do go over there because the humidity is going to hit me. But Spain was all right, so it can't be any worse than Spain for humidity levels as well. Hello to Cole, who's watching on as well. Just going to get our laptop's having a bit of trouble at the moment, so hopefully we're okay to you. Let us know on the chats if everything is okay. Hello, we're now on the Twitch chat as well, so let us know if YouTube's looking okay. As we see coming out of that part of the track, a bit of an error there as well. Just trying to find where my book is with all my F1 notes. It seems that it has disappeared somewhere into the abyss, it seems. My little notebook full of F1 stats and facts that we like to share. It has actually completely disappeared. I can't find the 2023 version. How bizarre. It's not anywhere I can see in the commentary box. Oh well, if somebody knows where it is, answer on the postcard please. I hope it hasn't been stolen. Who would have stolen just one little book? Honestly, also the amount of commentary notes we've got here is an absolute mess. So need to move half the notes as well around. As they come out the circuit, Ocon then goes up into 4th position on his Delta time, looking okay to me. It's a 1:15.701. Ah, there it is. I know where it is. I know where all my stuff is. I'm not an unprofessional. I know where it is. Here we go. Yes, Tarzan Bosch, the Gluck and Bosch at turn 2, then turn 3, up to the Hunzerring, then the Rob Sluttenmark as turn 5, Sloveniak at 7, Marlboro at 8, Renault at 9, the Kummer Bosch at 13, Audi S's, and the Tunnel West at the last corner. So that's where we are. 72 laps ahead of us, of course. Andretti won here in 78, Alan Jones in 1979, Nelson Piquet 1980, Alain Prost 1981, Didier Pironi 1982, Rene Arnoux 1983, Alain Prost 1984, Niki Lauda 1985, Max Verstappen 21 and 22. What a lengthen of pantheon he's got to join there as well, as we're on board with Alexander Albon coming through the back half of the circuit. Russell, Verstappen, Perez, Sargent, Ocon, Hamilton, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Leclerc, the top 10. Schwartzman's got 11th, and that's the last of the times on the board at the moment. But I suppose, really, I mean, there's no doubt Max Verstappen, starting as he needs to go on, he's 5.5 tenths ahead of George Russell already in this first practice session. Oh, can't hear you.
Muted, I think.
There you go. Yeah, hello.
Yeah. But yeah, not really surprised that Max Verstappen already fastest of all. The times will change, obviously, still only FP1, but I think this weekend I'm expecting maybe Mercedes to be in the mix as well, and McLaren. And maybe Ferrari at some points in qualifying, but then in the race they go quiet.
I'll join you on that bet as well. I hope that's the case. As Schwartzman, 12th fastest. But I think Mercedes could be back up there. It's going to be Mercedes v Ferrari. Mercedes v McLaren. Ferrari are 2 off the pace this weekend, and there is Ferrari on this day. In 1991, the 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher made his F1 debut at the Belgian Grand Prix. Retired on lap 1 just after Rouge and Radillon. The clutch had gone, he blew it at the start, and that was his F1 day over as well. Next race he was at Benetton and went away from Jordan, of course, in that fantastic Jordan 9-1. As Hamilton into Tarzan. A little bit of luck already, look at the rear right tyre, a little bit of graining on those hards already. So this surface is abrasive, and the curbs don't help either with the sort of triangular sausage curbs they get up.
Yep, absolutely. As now we can see, Hamilton still making his way through. Fastest first sector currently as it stands. But yeah, hopefully we're going to get an exciting weekend. That's what we're all hoping for. We want a good return back Formula 1, and it would be good if we see maybe McLaren and Mercedes both be able to challenge as Russell goes second.
Yep, Russell back up then at 1:14.510, getting his better times in as the rest of the circus continues on. Fingers crossed they're not going to have too much problems. Hamilton's up in the middle sector as well as Leclerc, a 1:16 for Charles Leclerc, 1:16.437. Hamilton's coming out of the last corner now at the turn 7, the tunnel west. The banking across the line. And does Hamilton improve? Led the race last year. Does. 1:13.954 on the hard compound tyre, ahead of Verstappen by 0.4 of a second at the moment, but not for long because Verstappen, fastest sectors 1 and 2. There's Toto Wolff. There is also Jerome D'Ambrosio, team principal of Mercedes in Formula E. There is De Vries, who has got, Tsunoda. I knew I was going to make that mistake eventually. There is Tsunoda in the 22 car, closing up. No time set. He's doing some aero rake testing as well. It's still not getting to do that. De Vries has left Formula 1, especially because it's got like the 21 and the 22. It's so confusing. But the 3 of Danny Ricciardo is still in the pit lane. And he's just come out now, actually, this second. So just to prove me wrong, as you can see the aero rakes on the side of the car, just having a nice indication of where he needs to go next. Tsunoda looking mighty here at the moment. He'll be doing some longer runs, which will benefit him going forward into the weekend. Here's Oscar Piastri then, at the moment, in the middle half of the field. Magnussen goes 11th, 1:15.867.
I'm trying to sort this mess out right now.
What on earth have you done there? Okay,
I give up already. Right, let me fully focus on this session then.
Well,
I give up with that.
You'll have to in a second. Let's go down to the pit lane with Bernie Korine.
Mercedes are putting the blankets on. This is George Russell's car who's come in. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, Bernie, is the wind factor. So we could see quite helpfully here along the top of the grandstand, you could see there's a whole row of flags which helps you kind of tell the direction the wind is blowing. It's coming off the sea at the moment, so sort of a headwind down the South Finish Straight, which will help the braking into turn 1. But this is a track, as they go up and down over the dunes, which is quite wind affected, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's something that you're trying to keep on top of with the drivers, because normally the sensor in the pit lane, like you say, is funneled in the pit lane direction, so it'll show almost a pure headwind. But when you get past the end of the grandstand into turn 1, that's almost coming at you from your left-hand side, prevailing in that direction from the sea. A few other things it causes is that's going to be where the weather is coming from. That's where your rain will first show up on the radar, and it's very hard to read the rain over the sea. So it causes quite a few problems here, really, that.
Right, Rachel, I'll let it get back to you. It is a really tight pit lane, by the way, I should point out. It's so narrow. Ferrari or Schwartzman's just come in, and we're being sort of shuffled out of the way by the Mercedes guys, because there's really not much room between the garages here.
It's like Melbourne. That's what many teams have been describing it as well. It's a similar build, similar construction to the Australian Grand Prix at Melbourne. So they're going to have to see if they can change between the two. Right, several thousand cars on track right now, as you can see on the timing screen there. The fans have flocked in as well here. It's a beautiful circuit and a beautiful atmosphere as Ricciardo comes through the Audi S chicane. Audi, of course, coming back to Formula One. Verstappen does a 1:13.191, already miles ahead of anybody else. And here's Danny Ricciardo, who said yesterday at the press conference to Rachel Brooks, I want to finish my career at the Red Bull factory, whether that's with AlphaTauri or whatever it becomes, or the Red Bull team. He's got his eyes on the main Red Bull team, and there's a few rumours flying around, Omi, that Danny Rick's going to be in that Red Bull car in 2024, not Sergio Perez, which I think is a brave call, but could be also the right call at the same time.
Yep. Well, they have been brave with all of their decisions, to be honest. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. So currently, Ricciardo, obviously, I'd say so far he's been about on par with Tsunoda so far. But obviously, it's his first few races. I think he's just going to get better and better. But so going to be interesting to see. Maybe he might be, but also Perez just needs to be on his best form right now as well. Lando Norris, though, from McLaren also. He's had a good couple of races as well. Possibly other than obviously last time out, but McLaren, since really Austria, I think they've been getting some good results. Silverstone was just a massive step forward as well for them.
Yeah, 2 races in a row as well as they come through, wasn't it? Which was great for them. And of course, Piastri getting a second place finish in the sprint race at Brazil. So everything was coming forward then. You see Valtteri Bottas, Alfa Romeo running the special art car livery this weekend, which is basically the same car with a few extra bits of red. So it's not that much of an interest, and less white, more red as well. It's not that big of a difference. The front wing is the main change with the arty livery we saw back in pre-season testing. There's Fernando Alonso, second in Canada, then the season's gone bad for him. 5th in Austria, 7th at Silverstone, 9th in Hungary, 5th at Belgium. But they have brought several upgrades. The team apologised and said, look, we've gone backwards on the upgrades we bought from Austria. They've now gone back to a Canada spec. More upgrades coming in and more cars looking good. And that is Kevin Magnussen with 2 GoPros attached to the front of his car leaving the pit lane. And that's not usually allowed. As we take a look at the Audi S chicane for Hulkenberg, turns in, jumps over curb 1, takes a low in at turn 2, and here's the radio.
Check the front right corner of hit that turn 12 pretty hard.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, just check that front right corner. He did whack the curb quite hard on the entry into turn 11. And into the pit lane now comes Logan Sargent. Alexander Albon, I think, still out there in 5th position at the moment. Sargent, though, he is up into 3rd. And Sargent's season so far, DNF in Canada, 13th in Austria as well. So got some good results here. And Sargent's first points in Formula One are sort of brewing away, aren't they? I mean, he could be the next big surprise to get even a top 8. Even here at Zandvoort, it could be good.
Absolutely. Indeed, he can. I'll say Monza could also be another great chance with the speed of the Williams, kind of like they have DRS open, literally every single on every single straight. Now, the reason what now. With this mess I've got over here, oh, that's something falling off. Perez goes 3rd, but I've basically just got it just so I could listen to something while actually commentating. But
is it
I can't really
Alex?
do that. Go on.
Was it Alex Jakes?
No, not Alex Jakes.
Oh, okay, that was surprising. I thought it might be, as they go to an ad break.
Now, I like to, I don't listen to any Alex Jakes commentary spoilers, because then I can't enjoy it properly. So like if I see any clips of Alex Jakes commentary, I won't listen to it until I watch the highlights or
Fair
something.
point. I'll be watching later on as well. Full team though this weekend. Jolyon Palmer's even trackside as the cars are circulating out there in this session. So there's a look at the full time so far with the cars circulating. There's not much going on at the moment.
When are we going to be trackside?
No idea, especially for F1. F1's more strict with trackside stuff. Hopefully
F1's
some-
hard because you can't really commentate it. You just gotta sit there. Unless you wanna shout in the grandstand so everyone can hear you.
Touring cars is probably the best bet to get to at the moment trackside. That and maybe MotoGP. MotoGP is still stiff, but they've become a little bit more relaxed. Formula One, though, you've got to be careful now. Trackside is
if I went
difficult.
if I went to F1, I'll just join the call if I have any good Wi-Fi, and
Yeah.
I'll just start shouting from the grandstands at you guys there.
Yeah. Jess was trackside, remember, but she, you can't do anything trackside as well. And actually, just
Yeah.
an announcement: if you are going to the Spanish Grand Prix, so the Catalan Grand Prix for MotoGP next weekend, you are not allowed to take any professional camera. So I know it's a bit weird. So they're all getting a little bit. MotoGP is basically saying you can't take even photos trackside, which people do anyway. But MotoGP just getting a little bit more ridiculous with its wantings and things as well. Seems to be absolutely chaotic as well.
Well,
at
if
the
the
moment.
Wi-Fi is good, are you able to actually join the call from the grandstands?
I don't know. No idea. I don't think
But
I don't think you're allowed to broadcast anything from trackside live anymore. That's for Formula One. That's the bad thing. Delayed,
So
yes.
can you not
Live
even?
no.
So can you not even join a call or something?
Not
With like no pictures, but like just.
Oh yeah,
audio.
you could do that. You could do that.
Huh.
Just no pictures. It's like what you
Well,
can and can't do.
Well, if I was to go, then I'll just try to join the call and start shouting at you guys from the grandstands. And tell you everything that's going on trackside there.
What makes
That'd be
more
a bit,
sense?
That'd be a bit weird though. The amount of times you try to throw down to me and then it's getting out somehow.
Yeah, we won't be able to hear a single word anybody's saying. Bottas, Ricciardo and Gasly are out there on the circuit at the moment as well. We're just having a look at, well, actually, Magnus is coming to the pit lane, actually.
With touring cars, at least the crowd don't get too loud. With F1, you can,
Yeah.
It'll just go a bit crazy.
Touring cars is fine, that's always the way.
Yeah, touring cars is a bit more quiet, so you can so you guys can actually hear. Well, we found out earlier on this year when Josh T went, and he's actually joined the Discord to listen, I think.
Yeah, he's not commentating, I don't think, because he's still busy at the moment.
Oh,
What?
he just said something. I didn't even hear that really, except I only heard as soon as I come in.
Nah, he's just watching, I believe. He's trackside, of course, over there. He's at Cadwell Park, as we see now, coming out of the last corner. He's back up then with the TV pictures. Let's head over to Rachel.
First practice session here after the summer break. Everyone shaking off the cobwebs, if there were any. There were a lot of tans in the driver pen yesterday. Some very well-tanned drivers. They were all taking the mickey out of George Russell, saying he had the best tan. Max Verstappen said he fell asleep in the sun and got a little bit of sunburn. Didn't mean to. But yes, very well rested, but all so keen to get back out, even though there are 23 races this season. 23 race weekends.
It's great to have that reset for them. You know, I know people watching on here. Yeah, how dare they complain? You know, best job in the world. They get paid millions to do this job. Get out there and give me more entertainment. But you know, the immense strain they go through mentally to do this job, as any athlete out there will testify. It's to be at the absolute top of your game. Every once in a while, you just need to have that reset. You need to step away and come back properly refreshed. And you know, it is nice this time of the year to, and what a track to come back to as well. You can't turn up to this one rusty. You can't turn up to this. If this was the first race of the season, you'd see a lot more mistakes out there, because if you make mistakes here, it's really going to bite hard.
So everyone's still circulating at the moment in this opener. There's Fernando Alonso. He's running out there on the circuit now, looking a little bit more congested, in my opinion. That car finally, I think, looking back to what we know it could be, the faster, more aggressive Aston Martin that started the year. Mute.
Is that gonna happen when I try and go? When I try to get something? Well, yeah, Aston Martin, Alonso. I think they could deliver us a win, but it would be a bit of a surprise one when they do. Because they look strong, but they've kind of just fallen away. So, it's gonna be hard. Maybe next season, maybe later on. But yeah, Alonso just keeps going, doesn't he?
Yep, Alonso at the moment fastest, well 14th fastest at the moment, 1:16.301. He's out there on the medium compound tyre, so this will be his first push lap. He's done a total of 5 so far, 2 build-ups, a push, and then an attack to come through. As they, have you got 2 headsets on? What on earth are you wearing? And why do I recognise that headset more as well? What headset is that you're wearing? The second one?
This one.
Yeah, what is it?
I don't even know. I got it a long time ago. Right. I'm getting 2 so I can at least listen. So I've got you in one ear and I've got... Because I'm going to sort out wires and all sorts of other stuff later. I'm going to have to find where my other stuff is. But yeah, for now this will work. Because I actually need to listen to some commentary, I guess.
Of what?
Someone.
Never mind. Let's go back down to the pit lane. Karun and
Throwing
Bernie.
that as well, some of the bodywork.
Yeah, they've got an update to the lower part of the rear wing, we think, and what's known as the beam wing. And they were changing it on both cars there, maybe a little bit of comparing back-to-back. Carlos Sainz, I saw, was in the back of the garage, having a little chat with Charles Leclerc, getting a bit of quick feedback. They also changed the seat in Charles Leclerc's car, which you thought could be ballast-related, or maybe he's just eaten too many pizzas over the summer break and needs a bigger seat.
Yeah, a lot happens over the summer break to us all, so maybe it is that. But, you know, potentially if they're changing some components on the rear wing and they've changed the weight of the car or the weight distribution of the car, maybe they try and compensate in that some way further forward.
So we've also seen down at Red Bull, Rachel, that a lot of Flowbiz paint being used on both cars. I saw them cleaning off on the inside of the side pod of Sergio Perez's car just now. So Red Bull clearly, despite the fact that they're comfortably in the lead of the World Championship, still trying and pushing on with new bids.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they were reported to bring a new component to the rear of the car, to the beam wing, like you said, similar to Ferrari, but both have Flowbiz, that inside radiator duct. So they are just trying to check that flow hasn't affected anything in that area.
And we're outside Alpine actually at the moment. We haven't got a camera with us at the moment, but just a point here.
1 second, some team radio, Corinne.
We have to abort a box, we have an issue.
Funny noise.
Yeah, understood.
Right, that...
Yes, go ahead, yeah, Stroll coming in.
Yeah, we'll wander down to Aston and try and investigate that. But yeah, just a bit strange to look at the Alpine pit wall without Alan Permain sitting on there. It's the first race, of course, that he isn't on the pit wall after, well, over, I think it's 30 years, isn't it, Rachel, that he's had at that team at Enstone, and obviously Otmar Zafnauer as well had his last race with the team at Spa.
Yes, indeed, Corinne. In fact, I can tell you Rob Cherry, the race team manager, is now on the pit wall there. So is Julian Rouse, the interim sporting director.
Yes.
And the other faces there are familiar and have been there at the previous races. Those are the changes on the Alpine pit wall.
Interesting as we see Lance Stroll coming into the pit lane then and having some more work done. And some sort of, I hope it's a sensor issue because the car got back okay. So I'm assuming it's that type of issue, but Verstappen 1:13.191, Russell, Hamilton, Bottas, Perez top 5, Sargent 6th, then it's Ricciardo, Gasly, followed by Albon and Ocon the top 10, but Hamilton 25.551 first sector, fast overall, dropped it in the second sector though with a 25.494, that's 2 tenths down on the overall time for him. As Hamilton exits across the line, does he go any quicker? It's a 1:13.623. 4 tenths off the pace of Verstappen, but just ahead of his teammate George Russell to go into second position here for the first practice session of the Dutch Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso now is coming into the pit lane. He is down in 11th position, completed 7 laps in total, and I wonder if this is a precautionary bring it to into the pit lane box here because of Lance Stroll's car issues. So just to make sure he is A-OK for things. Yeah, they're just checking some aero sensors as well. The new side pods in Aston Martin looking very good. Sort of getting close to the viewers here, but I'm just having a look at the car to see what they've changed on the TV images here. New buttercup type air intakes there on the inside of a Baby Bell. Locked up Alonso through the gravel of the Audi S chicane, and that's why he's coming to the pit lane. Turned on entry, car locked up, he went straight on, nothing he could do there. Should have guessed that because it says on the timing tower down at the bottom in the race control messages. Alonso off track at turn 12 and continued. So not that great for Fernando. There is Logan Sargent. Several more cars start coming out on the pit lane. Yeah, Piastri is just behind Russell there. Russell and Piastri in that little data scrabble. Sargent's actually got the fastest first sector time at 25.414, and he's got the fastest second sector time. Reason for that is because he has got the soft tyre compound on. He's done 10 laps on the medium tyres. Now he's gone straight to the softs, the C3 tyres here this weekend, and this should be a moment for Williams to remember as he will cross the line here at Zandvoort. The scene of some trauma for Williams, of course, back in 1977. But Sargent goes top with a 1:12.814, the new benchmarker in this session. And I think, Omi, Williams might just want to take a photo of that because it's not often they top a timing sheet.
Yep, absolutely. Take the photos, Williams. Yeah, it's not really often. And also all 3 sectors as well. Best sights for Williams. I don't know, obviously Silverstone, both of them topping 1 and 2. That was incredible in qualifying as well. Remember that one?
Yeah. Perez has got the soft tyre on now, apparently, according to our computers up here in the commentary box, so he'll be next up to do it. The cranes around this circuit, of course, to hoist cars away, just in case of accidents into the wall. We saw that last year. Here's Tsunoda now out there on the circuit. Where is Tsunoda in this session? He's still down in the 18th position, hasn't actually set a time just yet. Despite completing 6 laps, and 5 of those all on these tyres. He's done 2 laps to the pit lane. Let's have Nico Hülkenberg about his contract extension.
The contract we did last year, it was always intended for 2 years, and there are certain mechanisms and options on both sides of the deal, and certain things triggered. That's why I think it's not a surprise, that I stay with Haas for another year.
Very happy to continue. Of course, we have a job to do right now, and it'll be, really fulfilling to see, the progress into next year that we're working on right now. And yeah, I know this team very well. It's my home in Formula One. It's great to have another year on it.
I've been happy, since my comeback, my return. Happy with my performance as a team.
Rachel?
No one?
No one. Okay, Tsunoda across the line, goes 17th fastest.
Steiner, who's down on the pit wall for us this weekend. Gunther, good to talk to you. Hope you had a good summer break. You were busy keeping your drivers on. Was that an easy decision?
Yeah, hello to everybody. Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. I think I just heard what they had to say. I trained them well, I guess, They said all the right things, so no, it was pretty straightforward. I think we are very happy. The drivers are not an issue in the moment. Actually, they're an asset to us. So I was very happy with keeping them on. We were very happy, not personal, as a team, very happy to keep them on, and a straightforward decision, actually.
Gunther, it's Anthony here. Moving on to this weekend, this circuit specifically. I know it's early days so far in this FP1 session, but how's it looking so far for you, and what do you expect from this weekend with your car here?
Hi, Anthony. Yeah, the first runs, Nico was out just for 1 run to find a little bit of balance, and as you maybe could see, Kevin was doing different wings, front wings, changing them around, so in the moment looks positive. Let's see how this upgrade works, which we brought to the track this race. We now need to go through the data, but his feeling was pretty positive, so I don't know what we can do, but I think we will try hard, and I don't really know yet where we'll be tomorrow and on Sunday.
Gunther, it's Damon here, ex-racing driver, as you know, and one of the questions that you always want to know the answer to is whether the team wants you or whether you want the team. How did you have to convince your drivers to stay, or did they start asking you whether they wanted to stay? Which way round was it? Have you told them something, you got something in the pipe for next year that's very exciting that make them want to stick with you, or did they have nowhere else to go?
Hi Damon, ex-racing driver. I knew that one that you raced at some stage. I think you were also world champion. But anyway, no, I think with the two drivers we work very well. They are well involved in what we are bringing next year and what we are doing for this year, because obviously we are not happy with our performance right now. They are both involved in it, and they both see that we do a lot of things which should make us better. Obviously, we still have to do it. The proof is in the pudding, you know, and it hasn't been solved yet. So, but I think between the two parties, we were agreeing that we want to stay together. It was both sides, all three sides, because there's two drivers.
Gunther, what's the target for these final 10 races of this season? What are you looking at the moment? What would you be satisfied with by the time we get to Abu Dhabi?
No, there is two things. First of all, always you try to do the best performance and get some points. That's the easy answer. But we are working very hard on some upgrades for later on in the season, which will give us a direction for next year. And that's what I'm looking really forward now, that we are doing a lot of work, a lot of hard work done from the guys in the design office, in the Aero Group, and just trying to move forward from where we are now. We're a little bit stuck since a few races. We cannot get out of the hole, but we are working hard to get something. And the aim is to know where we want to go next year and to have as many points as possible.
Do you think 7th's possible? I mean, that battle is fierce now. You're level on points with Williams and just 2 ahead of the Alfa Romeo.
It's tough in the moment in that region, as you can see, but you know, you always do your best, but it will be a tough battle.
All right, great, good. So thank you very much for talking to us in this session.
Thank you, guys.
Günther Steiner there on the pit wall, and as Sky were talking to them there, I knew that was coming, you see. I knew that was coming, and then they just didn't start talking. So what were we supposed to do? Honestly.
Yep. We thought we would have to come back to us.
Yeah, I was already, because I knew we were going to... I think I know the guide for Sky. I know they were going to do the... they were going to talk about the Haas deal, and then they were going to talk to Günther, and then they're going to come back up to the World Fever for 5 minutes for an ad break. Let's hear from Joe.
Who was that, man? Fully just blocked me, lost of perspective. Copy, Joe.
Yeah.
Can't quite see who it is yet. Is it an Alpine? No, I can't quite...
Might be.
Well, they've cut to Esteban Ocon, so I wonder if it was Esteban Ocon.
Yeah,
it is. Look at the time screen. Ocon is ahead of Joe on the driver tracker. So it was an Alpine of Esteban Ocon who blocked him. We got that, but via the rear wing and a little bit of blue we saw as Leclerc gets in the way there of down towards the Allier chicane of Ocon. But yeah, so I know the schedule for Sky. I know what they're doing, but it's just we never get them coming in. So that's disappointing. 25 minutes to go then of this opening practice session. Qualifying for Formula 2 will be up next after this show, and then we'll go back over for the F1 practice session tomorrow. Very busy day. All of the YouTube streams for this weekend are up. If you're watching us on Twitch, just set the notification bell and you'll be told when we go live. On YouTube, everything is already available for this weekend as well. So all of our streams are up and running, ready to go. Jess will be with us for F2 qualifying. Omi will be with us too, but please, I suppose you get a lunch break. You disappear if you like, get a lunch break.
Lunch? I think it's too early for lunch.
Okay, it's not too early to go down to the pit lane now because Bernie's there.
Appears to be an engine-related issue. There's a lot of the engine mechanics around the back. They also took the nose box off, sort of to look for hydraulic leak at the front.
Stroll.
But they don't seem to have resolved it. They're working on it. But Lance is still in the car, obviously hopeful.
2 seconds, Bernie.
1 second, Bernie. 1 second.
A lot of traffic in the middle sector there.
Sorry, that's all right. Just some Max Team Radio. Go ahead, carry on.
Lance is obviously hopeful of getting back out in the session, but there's a lot of concerned races around the back of the car. And interestingly, they held on to Alonso a little bit longer in the garage as well, so potentially looking to see that they didn't have a similar issue on his car. But it's not looking great at the minute from where we're standing at Lance getting back out again.
And just to pick up Rachel, Lando Norris, he came into the pits. They did a bit of a change out in the pit lane itself, and he's gone straight back out on that same set of mediums.
Yeah, so to me that looked like maybe a potential front wing change. So they'll change the angle a little bit, and then they'll check it again, and they'll just check how that front wing is performing at various front wing angles.
Thank you, Bernie. Thank you, Karun. So, Bernie Collins, of course, down there, former strategy head of strategy at Aston Martin, now Sky F1 pundit. She's in the pit lane this weekend alongside Karun Chandhok, and we'll be hearing from him throughout the weekend as well. No Martin Brundle, no Ted Kravitz this weekend. Martin is taking an extra week's holiday, and so is Ted Kravitz. They'll be back with us next week at the Italian Grand Prix, going into Singapore and Japan before going over then to Qatar, America, Mexico, Brazil, United States and Abu Dhabi. It's scary, Omi, to think that there's only 2 European races left. This is one, and then Italy's the next, and then that's it. It's all flyaways after that, and our season's timetable get very complicated.
I mean, I just joined this team yesterday, didn't I?
Yes.
It's all gone by so quickly. And then Bahrain. And then also Bahrain, I remember that one. That, like, it's kind of like the season just started, but we're already more than halfway through it. And that's all of the Europeans done, European part of the calendar done now. Obviously one more in this one, but it's all gone by so quickly this F1 season, hasn't it?
Massively so, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Personally, I think it's a bad thing because it's already August, and to me it still feels like it's June, so I'm like a couple of months behind, and we're three races away. Yeah, 3 races away from the end of the IndyCar season. In 3 weeks' time, that's it. It's all done. IndyCar will be done and dusted, and then we've got to look forward to wrapping up every other championship season, including touring cars. That finishes at Qatar. So it's all going through, but yeah, go on.
It should currently be June. We should be having the 24-hour Le Mans soon.
Yes, it should be, yeah. It's been a confusing couple of weeks. Another positive, actually, just looking at the calendar remaining, is that we've got all of the night races still to come. And if you're new to us here on JB Motorsport and don't know what the night races are, they are hell. Because not only are we've got the one F1 night race to finish, which is the Japanese Grand Prix, but then we've got 5 MotoGP night races to do. Yes, 5. You've got Thailand, you've got Australia, you've got Malaysia, you've got Japan, and then you've got you've got the Indonesia race, and they're all back-to-backs. So 5 night races coming to you soon. We will get to November praying for some sleep. But the Japanese Grand Prix for F1 is the one we're all looking forward to. It's worth getting up for every single year. It is one of my favourite races on the calendar, the Japanese Grand Prix. Whether it be at Suzuka or at Fuji, it is fantastic. And I hope we do go back to Fuji eventually. But Honda own Suzuka, of course, and Suzuka, naturally, the only one on the F1 calendar, it's Toyota who own Fuji, and Toyota left Formula 1 back in 2009. But
a certain Josh liked my Instagram tweet.
Yeah, me.
Now I'm going to try and get into posting on Instagram, but I don't know how long it will take until I give up.
Oh, I gave up incredibly. I very rarely post anything these days. I put some stories on, but posts, it's like it gets quite difficult to constantly post things. Because like,
no, that's literally. Yeah, the other day when I was getting a haircut. Now don't ask why I got a haircut at night. But, right, Hamilton led 40 laps at this race last year, his most at any Grand Prix since Abu Dhabi 2021. Ooh. He'll be looking to take victory and deny the Dutch fans Max victory.
That's brave of F1 saying, what's happened to Hamilton now? He's gearing up for a push lap. Brave of F1 to mention Abu Dhabi 2021 on an official broadcast, especially at the Dutch Grand Prix. That's just going to anger the Lewis Hamilton fans massively now. As to be fair though,
Twitter or X, sorry.
Yeah, it would be quite funny if Hamilton won his first Grand Prix since all that drama here at Zandvoort.
Yeah.
So that's something he's looking forward to. But this is the longest Lewis Hamilton has ever gone in his Formula 1 career without a race victory. His last win came at the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix back in 2021. And Hamilton's 310's up in the middle sector, and he is on soft tyre compound. Brand new set as well, actually. Hamilton's down here 11th at the moment. as he's going to turn it through into the bottom half of the sector. Continuing on, nicely done.
Yellow.
Flicks
Yellow.
it into the
Oh, no.
hairpin. Yep, yellow sector 3. So who's going to... Oh, and it's Nico Hulkenberg. And he has touched the barrier. Now he might... Now that's uphill at the last... That's at turn... That's just coming into... That's into turn 13, the Kumenbosch. So
Yeah.
that's just coming to the last corner, and it has red flag the
flag.
session. Oh, no. And Hamilton was on such a good sector time. But Hulkenberg has sort of beached it. Now, that's a banked part of the sector, so he's gone uphill quite
Yeah.
a bit.
Luckily, he's kept it out of the wall, though.
Yeah,
Looks like.
should just be able to crane that back down if he keeps the engine going. Or is he going to get out of the car? What's he done? He's damaged a little bit the front wing. Actually, I don't think he's damaged anything, do you? Because it's the Rolex boarding that's been ripped slightly, but I think the wing is actually intact. So I think it's just beached. That's it. Nothing too
Yep.
bad. Okay, so let's take a look at how it happened then. He's going to lose the rear on entry.
Oh.
Ah,
Yeah.
Schumacher did that last year, so it's nothing too hard. He's going
Did he have a little touch on the wall?
little
Yeah.
touch, but it has not damaged a thing.
Little. Yeah.
Hasn't damaged a thing. That's amazing. No
Yeah.
damage to that Haas car. So it's just the gravel. The gravel bites at this track, and if that was a tarmac runoff area, you'll be able to get going again. But it's gravel. It's an old school style circuit, Zandvoort. So yeah, that's it done, I'm afraid. So nice to see it packed up here as well and looking good. We're under a red flag then here with 17 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Again, I got told that was coming. Sorry. Cheeky, I know. As,
Yeah.
Just taking a look at it on the replay.
Right, I was going on. Gone.
No, I was just saying we're looking at it again on the replay, but go on.
Right, I was just going on about, quickly about Instagram again. Well, I guess I was planning on taking a picture because I was like outside in the night doing like I first of all did my haircut, and then I was like, well, I'm just chilling outside. I'll just quickly get a photo, but then I just couldn't be asked to get my phone out. It's just, yeah, just so. It's really hard to actually get into permanent posting pictures. It's only when you have like a commentary. That's the only time I'm gonna post anything.
To be honest with you, I'm the same. So everyone's back in the pit lane then. Red flag is
Like
out.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I saw your post back to F1.
Yeah. I was doing the voiceover
Yeah.
for the calendar and the drivers of the Constructors' Championship that you see at the start of the shows. Doesn't take that long, only 2 minutes. One take. Usually. Sometimes.
And also, by the way, Josh, the other headset you're talking about, the mic is actually so terrible on it.
Really? I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, the mic's terrible on it.
Just watching
So-
Sergio Perez now. He's
That's why I had to
fastest
get
at the
this
moment.
other one.
Say again?
That's why I had to get this other one, the one I use in commentary.
Well, you should be using a handheld mic, but it's not working for some reason.
It's still here. It's literally just sitting here right now, waiting to be used, if it works.
I don't know why it's not working, to be fair.
I think I've had it with USB to XLR and stuff. Oh. I think it was the wires.
You need a
That's
bus
going
mixer.
crazy.
That's your next thing. You need one of these baby bus mixers that me and Josh have got.
Yeah.
Then again, I've got the big one with 12 inputs on it. That's 4 microphones and headsets and everything. The audio inputs for you lot as well. So yeah, got a single one as well that is in use, but only as a headphone thing at the moment.
Well, I am getting very hot by having 2 headsets on, but...
Oh yeah, you will do. That's why you need an ear pod.
And I don't want to on, and I don't want to open any windows, because there'll be bugs, flies, and all sorts of stuff.
What actually are you listening to on the other side of those?
BBC.
Oh, so is Jenny Gal there? Is Jenny doing some pit lane stuff?
I think so, yeah.
best of luck to Jenny Gow. She's back with the BBC team this weekend. She's in the pit lane with Rosanna Tennant. So best of luck to you, Jenny, as well. Hopefully you are A-OK.
Yeah. Now I'm kind of returning to actually having BBC commentary on for more information. Like I remember with like 2020 and stuff.
Yeah.
When I was like commentating for fun, I just had it in my ear. Just so if they said anything, then I got some information on it. So kind of bringing that one back.
Yeah, a possible power unit issue that needs investigating means no more running for Stroll in FP1. He only managed 2 laps. That's from Chris Maitland as well. Let's head back over to Sky.
This off for Nico Hülkenberg.
Yeah, Hülkenberg, you see, he just hesitated slightly before turning into 13. Arrived a little bit late to where the apex was, carrying that extra speed as well, and the rear just let go mid-corner. It's easily done round this track.
Right, well, let's get some reaction from Günther, who's on the pit wall for us this weekend. Günther, I mean, never want that to happen, but it does look like hopefully you've got away with minimal damage there from that one.
Yeah, it looks like the front wing is damaged. Just the only problem is we don't have, this was the new front wing and we don't have a lot of them. So obviously that one thing which shouldn't be damaged is the front wing, and it is. We have to see if we can repair it or not, but I think the chances are low to repair this front wing. But otherwise, yeah, we got away pretty easy.
Have you got another one to put on for this afternoon if you need it?
Yeah, we got another one, but only one, so we need to decide if we risk it or not to put it on this afternoon, or if we keep it for tomorrow. So I think we decide that one after the session. We spoke briefly about it, but in the moment we don't know what is the best thing to do here.
I suppose looking on the bright side though, Günther, will give you a chance if you do go back to the old wing to see how the new wing's performing now. You've got some data from it, no?
Yeah, there's
okay,
always a silver lining.
Like
silver lining to anything, huh?
So possibly it was the front wing was a little bit too good, do you think, Günther? He looked like he turned in, it just didn't want to stick, the back didn't want to stick.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin said the same. I think the front grip, the understeer is very good in the moment, or very little understeer, that means. And I think now, obviously, they put a lot of balance onto the front, and maybe it was a little bit loose in the rear. So, but, you know, at least we sorted one of the issues out.
Günther, it's Karun standing behind you here in the pit lane. Are you concerned about tyre wear on the circuit? Because that's something in the races we've seen, even when you qualified very strongly, you've sometimes gone backwards on the Sundays, and this we know is a circuit with high energy and high abrasiveness.
Yeah, obviously we are always concerned about that, and we have complete new rear brake ducts for this race to try to get a little bit the temperature under control of the tires, the bulk temperature. I don't know how much that will help, for sure. It will help, but if it is enough, I don't know yet. And the only thing to find that one out is actually in the race. You cannot do these long runs in free practice, so not like in the race.
Great stuff. Thank you very much, Günther. Thank you, Karun. And the cars are back out on track.
So we are underway once more with 10 minutes to go. We lost 8 minutes in that session and under the red flag conditions at the moment, but the session is go. And we've got Perez out there fastest on a 1:12.323. Hamilton in the pit lane holding up one of the Red Bulls of Sergio Perez. And Hamilton, you're not really allowed to do that. You've got to go full speed out of the pit lane, I'm afraid. And Perez getting a little bit antsy, just wanting to overtake him. I mean, you can't go slow in the pit lane after you go after the fast lane, so Hamilton could get a bit in trouble there as Perez now goes down the outside and overtakes him.
So I'm just listening to Jenny Gow. They've headed to her in the pit lane.
Jenny! She's there. I want to hear from Jenny Gow. Hopefully we need BBC comms as well somehow. We need all these leads getting in place so we can hear from Jenny. And make sure she is A-OK down there in the pit lane. Perez from Albon, Sargent, Ocon, Gasly, top 5, Ricciardo, Verstappen, Magnussen, Bottas and Leclerc, the top 10 at the moment. There's Max Verstappen. We need to see his thing for the last 5 races, not even the last 8 races. I can tell you right now, first, numero uno, as they come through. And he crosses the line down towards turn number 1 into the braking zone. It's such a short run down towards turn 1 here at Zandvoort.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite fun, isn't it? The race on Sunday. Last year, Hamilton diving up the inside of Perez at turn 1 and almost causing a massive contact. And the rear slept out on him as well. As Verstappen having the similar issue at the top of the hill at turn 3, just having a little bit of a rummage round. And he's up by 0.3 of a second on Perez's time at the moment. So Verstappen fastest coming through.
Yeah, Verstappen going even quicker currently. And Jenny Gao was just actually down at Red Bull as well as Verstappen makes his way currently through. But hopefully it's going to be an exciting one with Mercedes being able to challenge this man as he looks to win once again as Zander looks to take pole position once again. And he's currently 2.5 tenths up, just over that, on his teammate Sergio Perez with some traffic. He's not been too much happy with traffic, has Max Verstappen. Quite a bit of traffic issues in Formula 2 and Formula 1. It will increase in qualifying for Formula 2 later and Formula 1 as well. Verstappen getting a tiny bit of a tow as he comes to the line, just a tiny bit to go fastest of all.
111.852, mighty good performance there from Verstappen. Oscar Piastri goes into 5th position on a 112.658. But right now, I'm going to move this chair out of the way for a second because I need to stand over there for a second. It's Verstappen, Perez, Albon, Sargent, Piastri, Ocon, Gasly, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Magnus in the top 10. Magnus is just on a 113.064, but Piastri has done a 112.658, so a mighty good time between the two of them, as Hamilton now does a 112.225, those second fastest overall in the timings. As everyone's now out there on the soft tyre run, so now this is where we're going to see the bankers really come through.
Yep, Russell getting a tiny bit held up there by the Alfa Romeo as well. Alonso now goes second, but now Russell is going to make his way through. I think might get a bit of a slipstream as well. Now he's regaining all the way as he now goes to the inside line, and he's going to make his way to the line. Probably lost a bit of time in the last sector, goes to 12th, and yeah, did lose some time in the last sector as well.
Backed off massively, did Russell. He's got Leclerc and Bottas just ahead of him as well, so Russell's on a slow lap time. And you said about traffic being a problem in the F2, qualifying earlier on in the F2 practice. I mean, it's a problem right now as we have Esteban Ocon.
Team radio.
The car was going on front on its side, I think. When I throw down.
Understood. Okay, we're having a look now.
Car's going on throttle on itself as well. That's never good news. As we see Esteban Ocon on the onboard camera watching the throttle. Let's listen as it comes to the braking part down into turn 6 and 7 of Slovaknik. Yeah, it is ever so slightly when he hits the brake, and the throttle's going on just ever slightly before he actually hits it. There's a lot of traffic now coming into turn 8 and 9 at Marlborough. Keeps it on as they swing back through into the Renault at turn 9 and 10. Marlborough, Renault, turn 10 hairpin, and that's Hamilton slowing. That's getting out of the way of people into the turn 10 hairpin. 3 tenths off the pace at the moment. Alonso's gone second, a 112.130. So Fernando Alonso has shot up there on soft tyres. Top 14 set their lap time on those soft tyre compounds to C3 Pirellis, and this is Verstappen passing Ricciardo, and Ricciardo literally jumping on the grass to get out of the way of Verstappen, and then Verstappen slowing down, and then Ricciardo back through. So they're practicing some trailing going on now as, oh, look at that from Verstappen, his head being knocked around in the cockpit there, smacking alongside the head protection. And the winds here are getting stronger. It's now 1.2 metre per second, and it's a crosswind blowing across the start line. So as we just saw with Verstappen, it's blowing away. That's what you're seeing. So it's blowing towards the pit lane here as Hamilton backs out of a lap time and allows Piastri to go past him on the timing screen. So multiple cool-down laps then. No one wants to do anything here at the moment, it seems. What is going on? Such a strange session right now. No one's making any sense out here on the timings.
I have to say, every race, every practice session, everything is being strange this season, I have to say. Let's watch with Hamilton. Oh, just a bit of a snap through the mid-quarter, then wide as well on the exit. But I mean, every racing session's strange. Like we always leave. Like literally, we always leave every single podcast. We're saying it was a bit of a weird session, wasn't it? Every session and everything this season has been a bit weird, hasn't it?
In this case, it really is. It's the weirdest I've seen in a very, 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 very long time. Nothing's making any sense.
Especially races. Especially races, because you don't know what to make of them.
Schwartzman across the line. Stays 19th, 3 seconds off the pace, but he's just getting ready.
Yeah. Enjoying his time out there while Sainz watches on. There he is as well. Carlos Sainz watching out this session. He'll be back in the car in FP2. and he decided to actually step out for Schwartzman as well. This chart for this session, and Lando Norris now about to come across the line as well with the banking.
And it is a 1:12.460, so he goes 6th fastest overall then for Lando Norris as he comes in towards turn 1 at Tarzan.
Yeah.
So confused in this track. Go on.
Yeah. And also gonna be, I think maybe Ferrari could possibly challenge in qualifying, but then race pace is terrible. Schwartzman on the radio.
Super unstable. Okay, copy that. Yeah, we saw a few snaps there.
Yeah, and that's really
And the rear is just super unstable, is what we just heard from that. You can see
maybe
it.
not then.
Yeah. He's down in
Maybe not then,
19th.
but I think Mercedes and McLaren will both be up there in qualifying at least. In the race, I think Red Bull, just have a bit of an advantage.
Track dominance between Verstappen and Alonso right now. Verstappen has the straights, but Alonso has the braking zones and the corners, which is quite interesting. Turns 2 to 3, turns 9 and 10, and turns 11, 12, and 13 all belong to Alonso, and then Verstappen has every other part of the track. So quite a nice little break down there as Alonso comes across the line. Stays in second, doesn't improve on time nor position.
I think really Aston Martin did blow their chance in Monaco. They really had a good chance of victory there, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They blew it completely.
Completely blew it, and probably their best opportunity to win this season, because it looks like, unless they get bad luck, I'd say it's going to be really hard to win. Other than maybe this race, they might have a slightest chance, and then also Singapore's now got that extended straight, hasn't it? Cutting a bit of the tail part, so yeah, it's going to be really interesting, but they did really blow their chance in Monaco. Did Aston Martin?
Yeah, Danny Ricciardo, by the way, is coming to the F1 2023 game on Monday, as is the new Singapore layout to the F1 23 game. So,
oh, is it?
Yes, that's on Tuesday. So I will be.
Nice.
There'll be some people having to do some things for me with some laps. Jess is going to be on there. I'm going to ask her and Sense to do a lap as well, because we're going to need it. Brand new lap. I also need Jess to do Qatar as well and things like that. And I need some images from Qatar. I haven't got the game yet. That's one of the really, because the problem is it's the computer. It's just too much money to spend on a computer that we can't play it correctly. That's why I can't do the streaming. That's why Richie always did the streaming. Commentating was a bit hard sometimes. Leclerc jumping around. 3.5 seconds off the pace, so he's 16th. What is happening to Ferrari today? They've done hard and medium runs only. Both cars. They've not done soft runs. Ferrari, I would be concerned. Hamilton's up there in that first sector by 0.05 of a second. Leclerc crosses the line, 5 seconds off the pace, and he won't have time to do a faster run on the soft, so Ferrari, once again, their strategy is a complete joke. And even though Laurent Mekies has left the team now to go on his gardening leave before he takes over at the, AlphaTauri next season. Check the flags out.
Boss's long, complicated name.
Yeah, Laurent Mekies. Check the flags out.
Whatever it's called. But yeah, checker flags out. Can Hamilton go fastest? Come on.
He's lost a lot of time in that middle sector. He had a lot of traffic there as well as Hamilton comes across the line.
No DRS anyway.
And yeah, stays off the pace. Lando Norris stays 6th as well. Russell 11th. Hulkenberg out of it as well. But Stroll, power unit issue, no time set. Alonso stays 2nd. And that's the first session done then for the Dutch Grand Prix of 2023. There is Lance Stroll. Power unit issue, and that's a lot of work to do before practice 2. Thank God it's not a sprint weekend. He would have been in a lot of trouble having no data at all. He's only done 2 laps, and that's Max Verstappen through the RDS chicane, and that's the first mistake Max has done all season long.
Yep, Max Verstappen just making one little mistake to get us all for a second, but not really affecting him really at all. And yeah, as you said, really the only mistake he's done this season, really the only off-the-road moment he's had all season long as well.
And we've got a safety car safety
car. Ow.
It's not even the virtual safety car. This is safety car. And it's an Aston Martin safety car that has been deployed.
Let's see Verstappen.
Switched.
Just over there, yeah.
Right, safety car is in this lap. So they're testing the safety car. I've never seen them do this before. We've seen
I haven't.
We've seen the virtual safety car, but and now we've got a safety car is in this lap. Now we've got the virtual safety car out there. So they've tested the safety car deployment feature, then the safety car in this lap, and now we've got the virtual safety car deployed. I think that's the first time the safety car has been deployed in a practice session.
Did they accidentally deploy or what?
Yeah, I think they must have. But yeah, I think that's because they usually test the virtual safety car procedure, which is the full course yellow. Which I don't know why they call it virtual safety car, because it should be full course yellow. That's because you know, but yeah, virtual safety car is ending now. But yeah, the actual safety car was out there. There's Felipe Drugovich.
Yep, winner around the circuit in Formula 2 as well, and obviously your last year's Formula 2 champion.
Virtual safety car has come in. We are back to green flag running. The fact the checker flag's out, so just ignore that bit. Away goes Alonso. Nice get away from him. Super duper time. What have you made of the session then, Naomi? The first practice, we've seen the starts going on.
Strange. I don't know what to make of it, to be honest, and that's literally every single session that happens this season, whether it's Formula 1, MotoGP, Formula 2. Well, Formula 2 has been good, so I wouldn't call Formula 2 strange, but everything else has really been strange, to be honest, where you just don't know what to say.
It's looking better and better as they swing in towards turn number 1, on board with Robert Schwartzman, getting a practice start in Formula 1. That's his first of 2 rookie sessions done. Next time we'll see Schwartzman in an F1 car will be at Abu Dhabi in place of Charles Leclerc, who will miss that run around.
Yep.
And the last one to do a practice start will be Max Verstappen.
Max Verstappen loves getting us excited by missing the chicane, doesn't he? He gets us excited by doing some certain stuff, but it doesn't matter. As Rosanna 10, I was just hearing about it, say the same thing as well. He loves getting us all excited, doesn't he? But he's just going to dominate come Sunday.
He will, that's the thing. He will be completely domination effect for Verstappen. It's going to be a lot of fun right now. Just having a think actually, on the BBC Radio 5 live team, that means this weekend it's Harry Benjamin, Alice Powell, Andrew Benson, Rosanna Tennant and Jenny Gow. That's a brilliant team on the radio. I would want to go and listen back to practice 1. That sounds fantastic, team. As they come into it. So everyone now coming back in, the session completely over. Verstappen from Alonso. We'll go through the full results in a second. Dutch fans coming back in. Going to go for some lunch. And then they'll get back all set for qualifying for FIA Formula 2 here at Zandvoort.
Wow, we have a lot of work to do, don't they?
Yeah,
they really do.
16,
as I can hear,
19.
yeah, as I can hear, they're talking about in my ear as well. A lot of work to do. They're really struggling with the rear, so they've got to work on that pretty much. Because you wouldn't really have Robert Schwartzman complaining about it, would you?
No.
He just needs to have one fun session. He's complaining. So yeah, the car doesn't seem in a good place. Leclerc 16th, but we'll see what happens in FP2. But they'll definitely need a bit of a step forward.
F1's back then. After the summer break, not too much missed, unfortunately. Still the same old domination at the front. Nice to see Aston Martin back up there, despite the problem for Lance Stroll. But Verstappen still mega quick. A 1:11.852 here in the first practice session for the Dutch Grand Prix.
This feels so relaxing. I finally took that headset off because the BBC coverage ended. Well, not fully ended, but yeah.
They've signed off, yeah. Without even going through the results. Tut, tut, tut. To be fair, I'd love it if I was on the BBC F1 commentary, because all that would mean is that we'd still do the YouTube stuff, which is that Megan would be here controlling the systems as well, using the 5 Live audio. Yeah, don't worry. If I ever disappear, I won't truly disappear. There's Valtteri Bottas with the art car.
What would happen with the other series, though?
I would do them. Or Jess or you would take over elsewhere, like Jess F2, you Porsches elsewhere and all that lot. But hopefully I'd still find a way to do it because I'd only be doing F1, so I could just stay in my commentary box, get a lead and do it still. So yeah, not all too bad. But yeah, it's not all too bad. All good. I've got plans. I've got plans. If I get the TV deal though, it will change. Vlogs instead. Max Verstappen fastest then here in the first practice session for the Dutch Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso is second, Lewis Hamilton third, Sergio Perez fourth, Alexander Albon fifth, Lando Norris is sixth, Logan Sargent an impressive seventh, Oscar Piastri is eighth, ninth Yuki Tsunoda, and Esteban Ocon rounds out the top 10. George Russell is 11th with Pierre Gasly 12th, Danny Ricciardo 13th, Kevin Magnussen 14th, 15th for Valtteri Bottas, 16th Charles Leclerc, 17th Zhou Guanyu, 18th Nico Hülkenberg, 19th Robert Schwartzman, and Lance Stroll in 20th, no time set after a power unit failure has put him back in the garage. Hopefully he'll be back out for free practice 2. Not a bad session then, Omi. What are you most looking forward to ahead of the second practice?
Well, to see how the pecking order looks, because I think we've still got a lot of question marks, but I'm excited for Formula 2 qualifying coming up, so I think that's going to be really, really exciting. But what happens if you were to get something that's not Formula 1? Then you have to miss Formula 1 races, unless you don't sign up for it.
Megan takes over the lead commentary role. It's all planned. Megan is the understudy. If I'm ever ill, Megan would take over the F1 commentary. Okay, thanks to you, Romy. Next up, it's F2 qualifying. We'll be back later, though, at 2:45 for all the action from free practice 2. But thanks to you, Romy. Jess joins us in the box next for F2, and we'll see you in about 20 minutes' time. Take care. Bye-bye.